Manchester City seem to be having so many people uncomfortable because of their success. Is it because the other teams are not as successful? I believe it must be. But when Liverpool was leading all last year, it was a wonderful thing, and they all were having a ball, and I thought that they were doing quite well. But victory is temporary. Success is real. And I think that Manchester City has done extraordinarily well. Some people saying, why are they doing well? They're simply doing well because their coach is developing an attitude of positivity. The first thing is, one of the problems he felt somewhere early in this, maybe during last year, he felt that they were losing the ball in possession as soon as they approached the opponent's half of the field. They were moving it around, but they were passing off the responsibility. There was not too much penetration, this, that, and the other. He took average players like Mahrez and like Jesus and turned them into super penetrative players. He had Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho. They were working hard to win the ball. When we saw Manchester City this year, they're the best ball winners in the English Premier League. You win that ball, you better move, and particularly teams like Manchester City and others who have a lot of speed like Adam Traore or even some of the other players. But you're not going to get the chance to run. They're going to stop you from running. They're going to block the passes. They're going to get to you together with the ball that gets to you. And you cannot do anything about it. They have stretched their imagination in the defensive line. And then what do you have? The beauty, the cohesive methods of the midfielders, some wonderful defenders behind there. You have Walker, you have Diaz, you have John Stones, who was average. Now he's a pretty good player. And they're tossing around with Cancelo and one or two Mendy in the wing-back position. But they're well organized. They're working together with Diaz. And if the gate has closed up for the midfielders in front of him, Diaz does not mind taking the ball and running through, attracting attention, and as soon as they back off, he hands it back to his midfielders, who are playmakers in the system. That's why they're playing well. And they're not guessing. They're not speculating. Last year, the goalkeeper gave away a few goals because of playing the ball short, not Edison. If it's not there, it's up the sides of the field, and they know, and they're going out there and getting it. I've not seen one team. Well, let me take that back. I've seen Chelsea recently. They're now doing that. They're now trying to win the ball. They're now playing the forward contact to get Warner and to get Mount in the front. But the other teams are not doing it. Manchester United in particular, you've got players. You've got the players who've got the zeal, but they all want to run with the ball towards goal. That is getting the opposition ready. And they start to double back here and there, and you run into traffic, and it doesn't get you as much success. I'm not saying those players are bad players. I still think Martial is a good player. I know definitely Rashford is a good player. Little Greenwood's doing reasonably well. But they do not have the kind of policy in terms of moving the ball quickly, quick passing, and going through the defenses. They have not been able to do it. They start going and moving quickly in a space and looking to dribble 2, 3. It's not happening. And all because of this, Manchester City is a long way up the road with 18 consecutive wins. Give them credit. Give Guardiola the type of credit that he deserves. Do you realize that he's not used Aguero? Do you realize he gave De Bruyne a long rest so that he could come out and be steady in the midfield and do what he is doing? Producing performances as one of the best midfield players in the world today. And that's what is doing it. Guardiola is the man controlling this. He is responsible for it. His players are doing. Have you realized that he has brought Foden into a left striker? And that kid is playing as well as anybody else. Fernandinho at his age is a master planner in centre field. He has Laporte with him. He has Rodrigo with him. I'm not convinced that they are yet into it. But they're there. And they're going to work and fight with it all the time. But if you want to know why Manchester City is winning, because Guardiola spends a lot of time looking at his opponents and seeing what he has to do to beat them. He may not succeed all the time, but he's succeeded for quite a bit. Because that's his rule, that's his profession. You can see him changing the culture of his attack from time to time with the waving of a hand, calling up Bernardo or calling up somebody else. That's what the game is all about. I'm not saying they're not going to get beaten. As a matter of fact, I was concerned in the last game because when they took so much control in this early part of the field, and they were not even looking to see when they will score. They were just playing, and all of a sudden they scored, and they went back into it until half time. I was disappointed in that one because I felt that he should know that these players got to be gelled into keeping that rhythm all the time. And the opposition in the second half played exceptionally well, very, very well, and scared them. That is my fear with Manchester City for what's ahead. He's got to keep that line going. I know he wants to shift players and make things right. That's okay. But do not relax. Do not give them the opportunity to keep the ball for anything like 5 or 6. No, must not happen. So for the fans who are looking about and asking, they know probably that I am a fan of Manchester City, but I like all the teams. When they're playing well, they're playing well. When Arsenal is playing well, they're playing well. When Chelsea's playing well, they're doing well. I even like the likes of Leicester and Leeds, because these guys create things during the course of the game. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. But Manchester City is doing a pretty good job, believe me.